Hello, Gabe.
Josh, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I see the chicken made the move.
The chicken, hey, did make the move up to Chicago. It's been snowing a little bit, end of March.
Well, I understand. I'm in San Diego, and we're in our winter rainy season. So I think we dipped to like 61 or 60 today. So I get it.
Time to get out the down jackets.
Exactly. The parkas. Exactly.
Hey, so we're going to talk today. One of the things comes up a lot is, how do you use our platform to be successful, right? It's a set of tools like we talk about, but part of that is how do you use those tools to achieve what you're trying to do? And I know you've had some exciting conversations with some of our clients recently, some ideation sessions about learning. And how to set up some maybe some new approaches to learning, right? I mean, this is what a lot of people talk about with the division between an LMS and an LXP.
Yep.
And an LMS was this like really structured, it's almost like the onboarding training, right? Like I got to do I got to do these like basic ones, really fixed path. And that we all know that that's not how adults learn. So talk a little bit about like what you guys have been talking about for the future of learning.
Yeah, so I'll save the names of the groups that we're talking with just out of respect. But you said it right. There's capabilities, and then there's value. In other words, a hammer is capable of a lot of things, but it becomes valuable not when you try to eat with it, but when you use it to hang a picture or drive a nail into a board. It's capable of things, but it really becomes interesting when it's valuable. And so what we've done is said, Juno's got all these capabilities. The question is, how does it produce value? And so one of the things we've been talking with some of our clients is, you've got this networked community of all these people that have all these unique interests, challenges, skills, desires, wants. How do you put this value story together based on your capabilities? And so one of the things we're working on is there's some of our groups that have some really great curriculum and courses. Some of them that are more LXP, more experiential, more reflection, more, consider this versus just do this. And so we begin to take some of those LXP courses or contents or curriculums, and we've put it into our system and allowed users to go through it. But what's cool about it is, this is what's interesting, see a lot of these things, it's like, okay, here's my learning, here's my virtual, but what happens when they come together? Well, what happens is I go through a module, and then our system, using kind of our AI-driven tools with our declared and discovered tags, recommends a virtual coach for you from within inside the organization that has said, I've got some talent in that area. So let's just for one say I was going through a module on communication. And I'm going through it. It's like, what scares you about communication? What's your communication style? Why do you want to be a communicator? So you're just kind of going through the learnings of communication and style and art and why. And then it's at the end says, hey, now that you've gone through the curriculum on our platform, we're going to recommend one of these 5 or 7 people for you to get some virtual coaching from on our platform. And that's the unique thing about it. It's not like you have to go off and do something else. Our system is aggregating content, people, experiences, bringing them together for learning and virtual engagement. So now I go, hey, here's 5 or 6 people that have said they're proficient in communication. I'm going to get a virtual coaching session with them for 30 minutes and just talk to them a little bit about what they've learned about communication. Here's some of the things I've learned through going through this module. And now all of a sudden what we've done is we've taken capabilities and we've created a value experience for the end user. And now a network community, an association, a society, whatever it is, going, gosh, we're bringing all of our elements together to create greater value or utility for our members. So this is a really cool thing that we're working on in this workflow, saying, hey, if we can go through modules of learning and experiencing, but then we can bring people in for virtual coaching. Now we're starting to bring the learning and the virtual world together for human development.
Yeah. Yeah, that one reminds me of, or kind of like sounds like the flipped classroom concept, right? Where you do your learning, and it's a lot of times it's on like a remote platform, and then you go in and speak to the instructor or the teacher, and like actually you've already done the learning, but you get to have a conversation about it that like reinforces it, and it doesn't make it where their job is to do a didactic, to do a lecture and just sit there and drone on and talk to you for an hour and then be like, absorb all of this, we're done, right? And the one I saw a thing recently that really stuck with me is like, a lot of learning is done based on like 1940s to 1960s learning concepts on systems that were designed from 1980s to the 2000s. For us here in 2020, when we've all got a phone in our pocket, no one's got time to sit through an hour-long lecture anymore.
Right.
So yeah, so what a cool idea to like, watch some series of sessions and then be able to have that conversation after the fact and have that connection, that like mentoring, that coaching session be all done on the platform and like set up as part of the track, where it's not just, I did these webinars and I've got my certificate. Great. I retained none of that. Right.
Yeah. And it allows you to kind of track, like even for the association, to track the progress of like, hey, this individual has, what this idea came out of. Somebody was like, I really like that Prince Harry company, that I think it's Better Up or Better Me, Better something. And it's all about going through some stuff and then getting a coach, a life coach. And you're kind of like, why don't associations and societies and network communities do this more? You have all the intangible qualities. Let's put it to work. Yeah. So we're really excited about it. That's what makes JUNO so awesome. It's clean, it's lightweight. The UI allows you to flow through it in a modern day experience. Yeah. But it taps into your most valuable asset, which is your people. Yeah. You've already got the curriculum, especially when we put it more of an LXP, more of an experience thing. Now we've got the people. Let's bring the value and utility together.
Let's do it. Excited about it.
I like it, man. So that's what we're brewing. We have the capabilities. Let's build a value story.
It's awesome. Thanks for the update. It was fun to have you give it.
Hey, exactly. I got to do it. Awesome. Good to see you, buddy.
Good talking to you, Josh.
Okay.